first two slides that we're going to show you is we're going to try to show how our building, how our project sits in the existing context of the neighborhood. This photo is taken from Ciminelli Development's 11-story tower. As you can see, the existing Pioneer building here, Gull Landing, Great Basin Marina, obviously Lake Erie in the background. To the south, the Skyway. The next slide, this is from ground level. You're looking across Great Basin Marina. Our project here, Pioneer building, Gull Landing, Shanghai Res, right here. We thought these two slides were important just to let you know, give you an idea of scale and massing on the site and how we fit into the neighborhood. Now the building itself, this elevation here fronts the water. What we've got is open public space, continuum along the water right here, a landscape plaza out in front, hotel turnaround and drop off right here. First floor, we retail. Second floor. Second floor, we actually have structured parking on our entire second floor, which will have room for 75 vehicles inside the building. Floors 3, 4, and 5 right here. We Class A commercial space. And on top of that, we have the hotel, floors 6 through 10. Just to give, we're going to do a 360 around the building, just to give you a little bit more perspective. This isn't a simple rectangle or square box that we're putting on the waterfront. It has a very unique design to it. You start to get a little bit of the perspective here as we start to go around the corner. This is a view from, the last slide was a view from Templeton Street, kind of where Shanghai Res is. This slide here gives you a little bit more perspective. It's almost as if we put a glass, a piece of crystal on top of a masonry base. It divides the two. It's very unique. And I should mention, we have our architects with us as well, Don Albrecht and Phil DiNicola. They were also our architects who did Seneca Place on the Commons. So I apologize, I'm not going to do it justice. I'm not an architect, I'm not going to be able to speak in flourishing terms. So this slide is also important here for access. You'll notice two access points here and here. This one right there is for our structured parking on the second floor. The one right next to it will be for loading and our internal maintenance and operations. That's important because all of our operations and maintenance that will happen with loading docks, that will happen with this building, will all be internal. What that really means is you're not going to see any dumpsters out on the site as you approach the building. Now this side fronts the city. As you're approaching, coming from Erie Street, I said this side fronts the city, the other side fronts the water. We wanted to make sure that this building doesn't have a back door. We're not going to turn our backs on anybody. If you're approaching from the water, you see the front of the building. If you approach from the city, you're going to see the front of the building. This along here is the main access to the office component here. Here is the main office portion right there. Again, a view from the city as we're coming around the corner, and then the final, just quick, as I said, 360. Here you have the turnaround. For the hotel drop-off, again, the landscape plaza up front, and the open area for public access to the water right there. Now, our next slide, a little difficult to see again how we sit on the site, but there are two things that we wanted to point out, and it's difficult to see here. You can see in the handouts afterwards. We position the building off the water for two reasons. Number one is that public access. We want everybody to be able to walk down to the water and have access. Number two, we didn't want to encroach on our neighbors to the west, Shanghai Res. We didn't want them looking out their windows and seeing a brick wall 20 feet away. They're going to overlook that landscape plaza that you saw in the previous slide. Now that's a quick overview of the building. There's one other element that you can't really see in any of those slides, or any of the aerials, any of the pictures. It was something specifically requested in the RFP, and that's the use of sustainable design elements in the building. Quite simply, this isn't something we're going to consider, it's something we're going to do. This building will be LEED certified. Some of the elements that will be incorporated into the design: reduction in energy consumption, higher interior air quality, water conservation, high level of natural daylighting, and recycling programs. This building will have the least amount of environmental impact as possible on the site. At Ciminelli, we've actually gone a step further. All of our projects going forward will be LEED certified. We actually have 13 LEED accredited professionals on staff in-house. I'm one of them. And what that says, actually I don't think that there's another developer locally that has one on staff, but what it says is we take it internal. We're going to do it ourselves. We're not going to sub it out. We incorporate it into our process. It's something we're going to do in the design phase, in the construction phase, and in the operation phase. The building will be LEED certified.